240, 240 mm. That's the width of that rear tire in front of you. That's the first thing that grabs your attention when you look at this motorcycle, and also what people see when you shoot away in the distance. Well, while we've got this out of the way, let's tell you more about the brand new Ducati Diavel 1260S. Ducati set about to completely overhaul the Diavel's styling, but in the process, we like how well they've managed to maintain the Diavel's sinister identity. Frankly, there's nothing like the 1260 Diavel on our streets, and I think that's what makes the design so unique and so appealing. When you look at it for the first time, you are guaranteed to be intimidated. It looks raw, it looks menacing, it looks like it's gonna come out and just grab your hand and bite it off. Ugh! It is gonna give you nightmares. The muscular lines and unusually long fuel tank, with air intakes on either side acting as haunches, lend the Diavel an athletic stance. This is complemented by a short subframe that's the base for a deeply scooped seat, which appears to emerge from the bike with no visible support. The clever bit about such a perch is that it puts the ultra-wide 240 section rear tire in full view. Thanks to the single-sided swing arm, the rear 3/4 angle of the Diavel is simply captivating. It looks raw, it looks menacing, and you immediately get the sense that the Diavel means business. One of the areas where the new 1260 Diavel looks slimmer is in this area. If you remember the previous Diavel, you could see the two exhaust pipes snaking their way around here into one unit. The new exhaust system, however, sits right underneath over here. It's a lot more compact. At the same time, the radiator now sits up front over here rather than on either ends, as was the case in the previous motorcycle. These changes have made the new Diavel a lot more capable of managing engine heat, especially while riding in our traffic conditions. That said, there's no escaping the fact that you will feel some amount of heat around your legs while riding at low speeds in congested traffic. That little niggle aside, the Diavel is quite a comfortable motorcycle to be seated in. Now, Ducati said the riding position is a mix between a street motorcycle and a cruiser. So what you get is an upright riding position. The handbar is nice and wide with just a slightly forward reach, whereas the seat over here offers great comfort. But at the same time, this deep scoop comes in handy for one thing, and I'll tell you that a little later. There's a sense of occasion when bringing the Diavel to life. Flip the red switch to expose the starter button, and when you push it, all hell breaks loose. The motor wakes up to an angry growl, bringing with it a sense of anticipation and excitement of what else may be in store. The 159 HP and 129 Nm figures give you an idea of what's about to unfold, and also tells you that it would be foolish to underestimate the Diavel, even for the slightest bit. The way this engine produces power is insane. It just blows your mind. You're just not prepared for something like this to shoot into the distance with such ferocity. It's quite addictive, and I lost count of the number of times I went up and down Gurgaon's empty streets. When you pin the throttle open and the RPMs rush past 5000 RPM, your eyes pop out of your sockets, and by 7000 RPM, you're screaming both in joy as well as in fright. As expected, there are a number of electronic safety aids to keep the bike and you in one piece. 3 power modes, multiple traction control intervention levels, cornering ABS, wheelie control, don't wet your pants control. It's got it all. Urban mode chops the power output to around 100 horses, while the power delivery is also relaxed. The anti-wheelie, traction control and ABS systems are also on full alert. This made it easy to pootle around town, with the DVT system ensuring that the engine didn't protest as much at low revs, as was the case with old L-twin Ducatis. However, the bike still doesn't like dropping below 2000 RPM. Touring and Sport give you full power while backing off the electronic intervention systems. All said, the manic performance in Sport mode is too hard to resist. The up and down quick shifter ensures that there are no interruptions in our quest for more speed, and frankly, it's a rush unlike any other. Part of the reason why you get the confidence to push this bike hard is in the Brembo monoblock M50 brakes. These have always been super effective in slowing down big bikes from big speeds, and it's the same case when it comes to the Diavel too. But the big question is that if the Diavel can handle the typical Indian roads. Now, since this is the top level Ducati, you have Öhlins suspension at the front and at the rear, and both of these are fully adjustable. The ride quality is firm, but it's not jarring at all, and that makes riding over our potholes and bumps quite easy and comfortable. That said, if you hit large expansion joints, you gotta be a little more careful, especially considering the narrow 45 section profile of the rear tire. I was also apprehensive about scraping the underside when I looked at the low ground clearance and 1600 wheelbase, but surprisingly, it didn't bottom out over bad roads. Overall, there's a good balance between ride and handling, and in fact, when it comes to the latter, the Diavel surprises you with its agility and poise. At a little over 19 lakh ex-showroom, the Diavel 1260S is worth the stretch over the standard Diavel, considering the equipment on offer. The Diavel, it's an astounding motorcycle. The power is relentless and so addictive. The handling is astonishing. And frankly, when you had a whale of a time and when you parked it, you can't just help but stop staring at it. It is truly a special motorcycle, one that makes you feel special, which is why this is what I have to say to Ducati. È fantastico.